let's start off with saying hello to everybody again, because I'm Kevin Cunningham and I used to do a show on a radio station called Plainfield Plain Talk. It's kind of a continuation from Plainfield Plain Talk. I haven't been there in a while. We'll see if we can post it up to that site though, and someplace else here and there, so people can understand what's going on. It's good to get information from your town. It's great to get information from your town. It's something you want to do, and that's what Plainfield Plain Talk, the radio show, used to do. Charter revision. That took a few months to get going, didn't it? Yeah, I wanted to be on that charter revision because I think being on a board all the way through the process, being a selectman and starting one up and going through all the way through the process, that I have a little bit of understanding what it is. What represents this charter draft is 9 questions, and we know there's probably about 30 or 40 things that had to be fixed. Number 1, which is actually number 3 on the ballot, is asking if the town should eliminate the quorum requirement of 25 people to hold a town meeting. That's a big, if I'm going to vote on it, I'm going to vote no. I want you to consider the fact that you are voting on a new ordinance or something as big as the town budget. If one person walks in the room and says no to everything, they've exercised their rights for all of everybody else. One person. We wanted to have it 25. So why did I say no to that, by the way? Other than it being a bad idea. Why would you not encourage people to come to the meetings and know what's going on? You want one person to change it, or have the ability to have one person change it. And what I heard was, because that was the person, or those are the few people that were interested and concerned. My thing is, what I heard right off the bat was, the first Charter Revision Commission meeting from this group said that they had a problem getting people there. My retort would be very simple. Where's the evidence? Where is your town putting out advertisements to the point where you know what's going on? Has anybody ever seen an advertisement in the Turnpike Buyer about any of this stuff? The answer would be very simple: no. Not at all. It's just it's a bad excuse. You can't tell me that you're not putting effort out there if you're not even putting out advertisements in the Turnpike Buyer. Or, to the next level of that is, how big is this? This is huge. Number 1, it's huge. Why were there not articles all the way through in the Norwich Bulletin talking about having this as a major change? Matter of fact, it was a chairperson that says, there's nothing big here. I don't think that they've done a good job. They just started putting out signs, by the way. Kudos, you put out signs. We've been screaming for that for years, so it's getting done. It would be nice to be like other towns though, and I'll tell you why. It's difficult to put a sign out the morning of a meeting that's going to be happening later on in the evening when people are on the way to work. If they didn't see the sign, they're out of luck. If they saw the sign, they're going, well, what the heck was that for? They don't know. So you got to give them the information in order for it to be valid and viable and meaningful. People need to be informed, and yes, Facebook is one of the mediums. Newspapers are another. Putting ads out are another. You got to keep on thinking and thinking and thinking of things you can do to get to the public. I would love to see a robocaller. So those things are important, but just stop with the excuses. I can't get people there. You can't get people there because you're not telling them. That's why. Why not have people who are informed, who can think for themselves, to come to the meetings and be able to vote for that? So number 1, eliminating the town quorum of 25 to hold a meeting. Silliest thing, and I'll vote against it every single time. Question number 2, which is actually number 4 on the ballot. Shall the annual town meeting move to the 3rd week in December versus November? That's basically moving back a month. No! Simple. Now, why did I say no? If you take the time to listen to the audio portions of the meeting that were being done, where our town financial director, Kelly Vachon, says that when asked, what are we waiting for to get all the information to actually have a proper town meeting, a town hearing on what happened the previous year, which is what that is, what do you need? Well, Kelly said, I'm going to paraphrase, but Kelly said, we're really waiting for the audit to complete. And sometimes the audit doesn't come in completed until February. Shouldn't that alarm go off right there? If it doesn't come in until February, Why are you even bothering trying to have it in November or December? Wait until it comes in and just schedule it for March. Question number 3, which is actually on the ballot as question number 5. Shall the separate votes on the annual operating budget for Board of Education and the town be binding if approved? And then they're going to subdivide it out if the portion of the budget that was approved doesn't have to get redone anymore. It's just the portion that didn't get approved has to go back to the drawing board. I was Board of Ed chairperson for about 3 years. I was on the Board of Ed for, I think, a little over 6. I was the first selectman in the town for 2 years. I started following town politics back in 1997, going to Board of Ed meetings. Then I went to all the Board of Selectmen meetings, Board of Finance meetings, inland wetlands, all of them. I used to go to all of them until I got onto the Board of Education, and I still started going to all of theirs, but I was on the Board of Education. Why? Because you want to know what's going on in your town. You want to have a good understanding of what's happening. We all kind of like interconnect between boards. It has some connection there. Well, so does the budget. If the town budget, which passes most of the time, passes, and now they're telling the Board of Education, oh, you've got to cut $3 million. Well, if you cut off and say, oh, well, we don't have to go to the town and ask them for anything else to be cut, we have to have the whole cuts out of the Board of Ed side. While in theory it may sound good, the problem is going to be we're a town. We are a full town, and if what you're asking is, well, we'll separate everything out and have just the Board of Education continue to take the cuts because they didn't pass. I hate to say it, but history shows you very easy. They're never going to pass anything over $1 million. So what happens if you get a $2 million increase and the town all of a sudden is golden on their vote, but you got to keep cutting and cutting and cutting? The Board of Education is going to get robbed. You got to have some play in there so the town can eliminate some things in times of crisis where they can actually help out. A great example would have been this year. If the Board of Ed failed and the town had passed, you have to go back to the Board of Education and say, hey, keep on cutting. Where this year you could say, what's in the 5-year capital on the town side that I cannot do this year, but then end up helping the Board of Education, so we'll just keep on hurting the education system? That would have been a chipperback. Simple, right? You've got to work as a town. This does not work as a town. You're actually pitting one against the other, and it's not right. Question number 6. Shall the town charter be revised to clarify that a referendum does not apply to the annual budget process? Are you kidding me? That is totally the opposite of what it should say. It should say to allow for a referendum in case of not enough votes. The charter says very simply that if you don't get your 15% of people going out to your first vote for your first referendum, then you have to go to a town meeting. A couple years ago, people had to scramble to get signatures, and Shannon Derby did a fantastic job. She got all those signatures, presented it to the town clerk accepted it because she verified all the signatures. We're good to go. Oh, but then it goes in front of the Board of Selectmen, who for the first time ever voted against it, saying, no, it really is not part of the annual budget. Baloney. You're taking away the public's right to access more of the public to vote. What you're doing is saying, referendums, by the way, only count if we want them to count. And we don't want them to count for the annual budget. That's taking away your vote. And my opinion is, it's pretty bad. It's almost as bad as number 1, but it's bad. It's totally opposite of what you should be doing. Question number 7 on the ballot. Shall the process to designate voting districts and polling places be revised to follow the General Statutes? I believe this is a 2-phaser, so that you understand what's going on. The 2 phases is the way that the state statute reads says that we have currently 5 voting, but by the way, we have 5 polling places. If anybody that votes in the Town of Plainfield into the town hall, they go into the town hall to vote, and they say, which district are you in? Okay, that's because of the way it's set up, District 44, 45. The problem is it should be fixed, which is what they're trying to do, I guess, here, to fix the voting districts. So it coincides with its general statutes. And that'll help it bring it back to from 5 to 4. How they're going to do that, though, during the year when you've got a 44th district as part of the town and a 45th district as the other part of the town, God bless them. No idea how they're going to do that. But that's what they're trying to accomplish here, and I think it needs better clarification than what it has. It should be explained a lot more. So I am on the fence on that one. I'm probably going to vote no. Because the second phase of that is then you're going to go and ask you at the next charter revision, they're going to ask you, do you want to go from 4 polling places to 2? Now, you got to weigh out the pros and cons on that one. Is it cost-effective saving? All of those things. It's going to confuse people, obviously. Brings us to number 8. Shall section 4.3 of the town charter be revised to remove the language about how long elected officials shall hold office? Let me think. No, that would be kind of saying you have language in there telling you how long they're supposed to be in for, but you want to take it out. Think. Just think, people. Think. I would vote no. Question 9. Shall section 4.4 of the town charter be revised to clarify that a person appointed to fill a vacated seat of an elected official shall serve either the unexpired term, portion of the term, or until the next town special or regular election? Why are we giving him an either or choice? Shouldn't it be clarified for exactly like it is right now? It already is there saying how long they have to go and when they have to go by. This question alone says, well, why don't you vote to have me do either or? Under whose authority? No. It's worded badly. I would not vote for it. Question number 10. Shall the Town of Plainfield remove jury committee, medical center, board of directors from the town charter due to no longer existing? Bravo. You finally found something which I think everybody can agree upon. So, yeah, it's not there anymore. Why have it in there anymore? And the last one, question 11. Shall the newly elected selectmen have until March 15th to appoint town council? All these years, we've had new selectmen come in and they've been very easily been able to find the proper town council. And why? When I was elected, I went to a simple Connecticut Conference of Municipalities had an open public workshop, and the workshop included giving you a booklet, and the booklet shows you all the different town councils for each of the different principles, whether it be land use or legal use, contracts, whatever it might be, and they rated them out, and based on what you saw in there, you actually could just pick 2 or 3 to be interviewed, come in and do your interviews, and you're done. What's so hard about that? Why March 15th? Is there something I'm missing here? And this just came up, I believe, because of the current selectmen saying they couldn't get it done. That tells you something else, but that's besides the point. No, absolutely no. That is what I believe should be discussed amongst yourselves to talk about the Charter Revision Commission, but you only have until November 6th because that's when you get to vote on it. Maybe one day we'll actually see something in follow-up print and paper about this, but in the meantime, I hope you do listen to what I have to say. It's my opinion. All of this is my opinion. You have your opinions about how things should run. Vote with your conscience, but I would ask you to do one thing. Listen carefully to what was said on each of these questions and what it was that I phrased the answers to. If you have follow-up questions, I'm sure this is going to be online, so you can ask and I'll answer. Thank you very much.